organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
In this edition of Daily Iowan TV.
Are you looking for that extra pick-me-up during finals week? Find out if that extra perk from energy drinks is necessary.
Pharmaceutical students could potentially see an addition to their school.
And in sports, we're putting a bow on our Cy-Hawk Series hoops coverage.
All that and much more next.
Daily Iowan TV is ready to go.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
You're looking at the University of Iowa Library on day one of finals week. As students across campus gather for some last-minute studying, we will continue to bring you the news.
Good evening, I'm Megan Tickner.
And I'm Jacob Esser. With more students reaching for energy drinks around finals week, consumers should know that energy drinks may be doing more than just keeping you up all night. Researchers recently discovered through MRI scans that energy drinks put an additional strain on your heart, making it contract more rapidly than normal. Daily Iowan TV's Brad Maxwell sat down with a local dietitian to find out how slamming that energy drink may give you more than you bargained for.
Slam, cram, repeat. An energy drink ritual that has become all too real for students during finals week.
Energy drinks help me out by letting me stay up later at night to study, helping me focus more, and as well as help me wake up in the morning.
But these habits are taking a toll on more than just students' wallets.
One of the things that an excess of caffeine can do is increase the heart rate.
Kathy Garris, a registered dietitian, says the labels on many energy drinks can be deceiving because they contain multiple servings.
Nobody drinks half the can and then drinks the other half of the can the next day. You know, they're drinking it all at once. They may even have a second or a third can.
And the piles of sugar and caffeine only amplify the risks. This can alone contains nearly a fourth cup of sugar. So dietitians say throwing these energy drinks aside and replacing with a healthy alternative can help slow down your heart rate. But what are these healthy alternatives?
A lot of fruits and vegetables, vegetables in particular, a good lean protein source.
Choosing a proper diet over energy drinks helps students maintain focus, but also avoids one other major issue.
Energy drinks can affect other drugs that a person may be taking. Birth control pills for one. If someone is taking hypertension medicine, it can affect that.
For now, students are weighing the ups and downs of a quick fix.
The benefits are staying up and getting more studying in. The negatives are if you do it too much, you have crashes and I guess addiction to caffeine.
And putting the report card,
And which one kind of outweighs another? The grades.
ahead of the heart monitor. Brad Maxwell, Daily Iowan TV.
And Garris says it's important to pay attention to the total amount of caffeine because some drinks list several ingredients that contain caffeine.
The beginning of finals week brought chaos to Harvard University this morning. Students were evacuated from 4 buildings after law enforcement received an email warning that explosives had been planted on campus. Early this afternoon, the buildings were cleared and students were able to return. The evacuation came at the beginning of finals week, though, so some finals had to be rescheduled.
UI officials hope for a new College of Pharmacy facility. Over the next few weeks, Iowa legislators will consider the decision to fund construction of a new pharmacy building on the west side of campus. After years of conducting classes in cramped classrooms and outdated research labs, the communications director for the school said officials have seen a drop in enrollment at the pharmacy school and is hoping a new building could boost enrollment. In the potential plan, the UI would demolish Quadrangle Residence Hall and build a new facility in its place.
And Iowa City woman Julie Taylor faces a felony theft charge after allegedly stealing close to $60,000 from her former employer, Hawkeye Waste Systems. Between October 2011 and February 2013, Taylor took 126 unknown checks from customers of Hawkeye Waste Systems. She then endorsed and deposited them into her own personal bank accounts. Taylor had access to these checks as part of her employment.
Speaking of theft, Megan, this weekend an Iowa City woman allegedly led police officers on a high-speed chase, all for a $60 necklace from Kohl's. Stefania Sevas, a 47-year-old, is accused of stealing the necklace and speeding away from police officers. Sevas has a record of theft convictions and is being held at a $10,000 bond. Much more still coming your way on Daily Iowan TV.
Finals are causing a travel burden on some students.
And how much do you think a state should spend combating voter fraud? Find out what Iowa is spending in Political Alert.
And in sports, wrestling takes center stage in our film room.
But first, we'll hand it off to Daily Iowan TV's Marissa Mahalik for your weather forecast. Marissa, what can students driving home expect to see this week?
Thanks, Jacob. If you're heading home tomorrow or Wednesday, it'll be cold and clear out there. But if you're going home near the end of the week, look out for some icy and snowy conditions. Tomorrow morning will be balmy 29 degrees and sunny, and that temperature will last us into the evening. But look out for a drop in the teens in the later hours. Now looking ahead to the rest of the week, Wednesday will be clear with highs scraping the upper 30s. Those upper 30s will hold going into Thursday, but there's a 50% chance we'll see rain that day. That means there could be ice and sleet on the roads for everyone traveling home. So make sure you check for updates before heading out. Friday and Saturday should feel a little cooler with highs only in the mid to upper 20s. We might see more snow here in Iowa City on Sunday. We hope by then everyone will be safely home with their families. Megan and Jacob, that's all I have tonight for weather. I'll send it back to you guys at the desk.
Iowa SJMC.
Want a major that'll take you somewhere?
I joined, and now I make videos for the university. I joined, and now I work for the most trusted news source in America. SJMC.
This year, finals are a full week later than previous years. DI reporter Kelsey Kniff has the details on why these finals were a real headache for some students on campus.
Finals week is the most stressful time of the year for most students. After spending countless hours in the library, face deep in the books, the last thing that students want to worry about is more stress. For some students like Sarah Bulmer, getting home is more stressful than finals.
A lot of my friends, they'll start heading out halfway through finals week whenever they're done with their finals, but I usually have to book a flight and they get really expensive during holiday season, so I usually have to find the perfect day, the perfect time to fly home. And obviously
Sarah is all the way from New Jersey and she has to rely on a plane to get her home. However, many UI students are from the Midwest and driving is the only option, even if filling up the tank is expensive.
Since finals week is so close to the holidays, there's also an increase in gas prices, making it costly to travel anywhere at this time of year.
But even with the cost up, students need to pack up and go home for the holidays.
It's expensive, but I have to get home. I really don't go home that often. I'll go home 3 times a year. So during the holidays, it's definitely worth it. I want to see my family and my friends from home. And
Kelsey Kniff, Daily Iowan TV.
Well, Jacob, do you have a safe ride going home?
Yes, Megan, I'm all squared away. I'll be home safe for the holidays.
All right. Now let's send it over to Reed Chandler to hear what the latest is in Political Alert. Reed?
Here in Iowa, some politicians are criticizing Iowa Secretary of State Matt Schultz for what they call wasteful spending. The Republican ran on a platform of stopping voter fraud in the state, and over 18 months he has spent $150,000 to work with the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation, but he's only uncovered 16 cases of voter fraud so far. 5 of those were dismissed, 5 ended in guilty pleas, and none of these cases have gone to trial. Schultz says it's proof voter fraud does exist, and he wants to stop it. But his critics suggest 16 cases in the entire state is such a small number. Should we really be spending upwards of $100,000 to tackle it? Schultz actually signed a 2-year contract with the state's Criminal Investigation Division. An estimate suggests when it's all said and done, the project could cost the state $280,000. Wasteful spending or purposeful politics? You be the judge. And coming back to the Farm Bill, we've covered this in previous weeks, and it seems Congress won't have a final bill passed until around mid-January. The Farm Bill is set to expire on January 1st, and speculations have suggested it could cause milk to rise to $7 a gallon, food stamps could be cut, and that spells trouble for the heavy agricultural economy we have here in Iowa. Just a little background, the Farm Bill is usually renewed every year, and without it, dairy farmers have to revert back to regulations passed in the 1930s. Prices would skyrocket, but Congress says not to worry. They've passed an extension on the current Farm Bill that will keep everything afloat until the newest version of the law is passed at the start of the new year. That's all I've got in your political alert. We'll see you back here in January.
And now for your latest in Hawkeye athletics. Let's toss it over to our own Alyssa Bergamini, who is standing by in the Daily Iowan TV sports studio. Ms. Bergamini?
All right, thanks for that, Mr. Esser. Alyssa Bergamini back here in the Daily Iowan TV sports studio with extended highlights from Tom Brands and company's beat down on the mat coming shortly. But we pick things up where we left off last night on the hardwood. Expectations for both the men's and women's teams sky high going into this weekend's trips to AIM. Unfortunately for the traveling supporters, the trip west was a disappointing one, with the Cardinal and Gold getting the better of the Black and Gold in both contests. Our Hoops insider, Jalen Socek and Taylor Axelson have more in a Monday evening Hoops version of the Whip Around. Guys, take it away.
Thanks, guys, and welcome to your special Hoops edition of the Monday Evening Whip Around. I'm Jalen Socek inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, where the Iowa women's basketball team is moving past their loss Thursday night to Iowa State. It was a tale of two different free throw stories, with Iowa State going to the line 49 times, whereas Iowa only had 20 opportunities at the free throw line.
Obviously, when a team shoots 49 free throws to our 20, that's a 30-point opportunity between just on the free throw line.
Iowa State finished the game in a dominating fashion with a final score of 83-70, and Iowa will be back to their home court December 21st, where they'll take on another in-state rival, Drake. And now we'll toss it to Taylor Axelson, who's got the update about the men's basketball team. Taylor?
Thanks, Jalen. The Iowa men's game was also decided by what happened at that free throw line. Only making one of 6 shots in the last 3 minutes of the game made a huge difference in the outcome, and in one of the most exciting rivalry games in Iowa State history, Iowa State won it 85-82. And even though it's not what the Iowa men wanted, they're still have a very positive outlook on the talent that they have on their team.
We were able to control the tempo and control the pace and just the game in general throughout the whole game. All we had to do now is just finish the last few seconds,
The Iowa men will return to the court on the 22nd to play Arkansas Pine Bluff. That's it for your special Hoops edition of the Whip Round. Back to you guys in the studio.
Switching gears from disappointment to flat-out domination, Tom Brands and company kicking things into overdrive during our programming break with a 46-0 thumping of visiting Buffalo in Carver Hawkeye Arena. Our own Kevin Glick was the mat side and has the extended highlights.
Tom Brands Hawks back in Carver Hawkeye Arena looking to rebound after a less than convincing win over Edinboro, taking on the Bulls of Buffalo. Dan Gable in-house, as always, to take on the action. Tony Ramos was the Hawkeye most hungry for a victory after dropping a loss at Edinboro to A.J. Shop. And poor Justin Farmer just happened to be the opponent in front of Tony when he was looking to get his revenge. He would go on to win 22-7 in the tech fall win, and it would just get worse for Buffalo as the match went on. They're clearly outmatched by everyone. Now at 149, Michael Kelly getting the nod against Ryan Tudor, and watch as he gets a shot in on his head here, and he's just going to work and flip him over and pick up the pin right there. And at that point, it would be 19-0. It would only get worse for Buffalo leading into the match with number 1 ranked Derek St. John at 157. Now here is DSJ. Watch him take his armbar and chicken wing and turn this into just a really easy pin for him. He works his leverage, and he turns over his opponent and gets him to stick right here. And that would make it 25-0 heading into the intermission. After a major decision from Nick Moore, now at 174, Mike Evans here picks up the takedown, and he's just going to work his opponent over for a big near fall on his way to a 23-6 tech fall victory. Now at 197, freshman Sammy Brooks, his opponent gets in his face, and that would get the Carver faithful on his side, and he would go on to break down his opponent on his way to a major decision 13-5, and Iowa would win the duel 46-0.
Yeah, you like to see it bounce back, but they're two different teams. So you're looking ahead a little bit, even though you don't look ahead in sports or life. But, we were looking ahead. I don't think our guys were. I just think it's now we're here. Now we're here.
You just saw how they did it, and now we welcome Iowa Wrestling beat reporter Cody Goodwin to the set. And to break down tape, Cody, what are viewers seeing here?
Well, first we're going to take a look at the 2 pins that Iowa had over Buffalo here. The first one we're going to look at is Michael Kelly. You see, look at how he has the head right there on the neck, just torquing that neck, and he's able to lock his hands there on a cradle, and it's important that he's able to lock his leg here, able to stack up his opponent and get the quick pin for a cradle. If you're able to stack them up on their shoulders like that, refs will call the pin fairly quickly, just like he did right there for Mike Kelly's matchup.
And we have to mention DSJ.
Derek St. John, our defending national champion for the Iowa wrestling team. We're looking at his pin too. He's got an arm bar locked up on the left side of his opponent, and you can see here he's able to run it. He just shoves that shoulder right into his opponent's ear, but his opponent's able to wiggle out of there really quick. Derek St. John able to readjust, and again, he scoops the head over there, able to flatten his opponent and get the second pin. Only 2 pins for Iowa against Buffalo, despite scoring bonus points in every single match.
All right, well, we thank you for that insight, Cody. Iowa star guard Devin Marble's fashion accessory obsession you'll just have to see to believe on tomorrow's program. But until then, it's back to the desk.
Only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into tomorrow's pages of the Daily Iowan.
Read about a soon-to-retire city council member.
And read parents' thoughts on Iowa's Department of Education's L program.
Well, that's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out at the same time tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night, stay warm, and get home safe.